I just want to speak candidly to you for a minute about the biggest problem with eating food that you did not prepare. Calories is one thing. You don't know how many calories is in some food item that you did not prepare. Uh, but bigger than that is you don't know what's in it at all. You don't know how it was prepared. You don't know about the hygiene practices of the individual who prepared the meal. You have no idea of the level of cleanliness of the kitchen in which it was prepared. For example, some years ago, I had a client to invite me to a restaurant. She wanted me to review the menu and perhaps make suggestions or recommend whether or not it would be a good restaurant for her to stop down and partake a meal or two every now and again. But instead of looking at the menu, I looked into the kitchen and I saw something that was very disturbing. I saw a pair of Nike sneakers, very old and run down. And in those Nikes was a young man standing on top of the food prep table in the kitchen in these dirty, filthy Nike sneakers. Now, the issue goes deeper than just the fact that the Nikes were dirty. But if you're at work and you're a male, then you might have to go to the men's room. And when you walk into the men's room, then what's on the floor of the men's room sometimes is not even worth discussing. But if he walked into the men's room, even if it's just to wash his hands, he walks out with whatever was on the floor of the men's room on the bottom of those sneakers. And now that residue is on the food prep table. Now, that's not to suggest that, all eateries and restaurants have these types of issues. My point is, you don't know what you're eating when you go to these places. I was told at one very popular restaurant that it's so hot in the kitchen that the food preparers, the cooks, the chefs, they can't help but sweat and drip sweat into the chafing dishes and what have you, over the food. I am saying this because you guys put your trust in the wrong places. You're trusting people that you don't know how they live. You don't know what's crawling around on the countertop, but you eat you blindly put these foods into the most intimate part of your body, which is your mouth. I have a character that I call him Gus. And I always use this character, Gus, when I'm talking to my female clients. And I say, if a man came up to you and he said his name was Gus, and he said, I'm not going to harm you. You know my name. My name is Gus. We're just meeting. Now, can I come spend the night with you? 99% of the women they said no, absolutely not. And the answer that they would give to not go and spend time with Gus is because they don't know Gus. Well, you need to use those same morals and that same judgment on what you're putting into your mouth, because everything that you put into your mouth has to end up in your bloodstream, and whatever's in your bloodstream have to pass through your brain, yet all you know is the name of this food, and sometimes you don't even know that. So before you put anything in your mouth, the most intimate body parts, because what goes in your mouth is what's going to affect you hormonally. It's going to affect your body's chemistry. It's going to affect the bloodstream. All right. It's going to impact your behavior. You should scrutinize what you put in your mouth for food more than you scrutinize who you talk to on the phone.